What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another movie review if you're new. Today we're going to be reviewing Unhinged with Russell Crowe. If you love this movie, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post movie reviews, you get them. Now this movie was super crazy, man. This was a crazy thriller. I'm gonna read the description for the movie to you guys. The description reads, after a confrontation with an unstable man at an intersection, a woman becomes the target of his rage. And when you read that description, that's exactly what the movie was about. Literally, this dude was chasing this woman and her kid around the entire movie, and he was just seriously freaking psycho. This is literally a psycho thriller gone wrong. I'm a real fan of Russell Crowe. I love the movies that he's made in the past. He's done some truly magnificent work over the years in his career, and he definitely killed it in this role. He made it so believable that his character was so psycho. Oh my god. This dude was so psychotic in this movie. You know, he's on a whole bunch of medication, hydrocodone and all types of other pills that he was taking, which obviously led to him being real crazy. At the beginning of the movie, it showed he went to his ex-wife's house and he walked in there with a hammer. He starts hammering the door down. He doesn't even care if the neighbors are watching or anything. He just walks right up to the house, uses the hammer and busts the door down. So then his ex-wife and obviously her new man came downstairs and was like, what the hell is going on here? And you could just see from outside into the house, and you could see that he was attacking them with a hammer. He killed them and used the hammer on them, and then he used gasoline and poured it everywhere, and he set the house on fire. And then he drove away and the house burnt up and blew up. He just drove away like it was nothing. So as soon as this movie started, you knew this dude was a psycho. And then about 15-20 minutes into the movie, the main character, the woman, her name is Rachel Hunter, she's getting ready to take her kid to school. And I mean, traffic is backed up so bad. It's so backed up to the point to where you can't even drive. It's that type of traffic where you're like sitting still and you can't move no matter what you do. So she gets off at this exit and she's at this intersection, and this person in this truck is just sitting there when the light turns green. So she gets kind of impatient because she has to get her kid to school. She has to get to work and everything. So she honks the horn and then she goes around this person. And then she ends up getting stopped again in traffic on this street. You know, the traffic is so backed up. And then this dude comes up next to her in that truck that she was honking at. He signals to the kid in the back seat to roll the window down. And this kid's name in the movie is Kyle. It doesn't really say Russell Crowe's name in this movie. I think they just call him the man. That's what it says when you look this movie up and stuff. It says the man. It doesn't give a name for him. So that's what we're gonna call him, the man. So the man signals for Kyle to roll the window down, and once the windows are rolled down, he starts yelling stuff over to Rachel. And he's basically saying like, you know, you didn't have to honk at me like that and this and that. And she was giving him an attitude. And then finally he said, you're gonna see what a bad day is like. So Rachel ends up dropping off Kyle at school eventually. She goes to get gas. You know, she's paying for a drink, a little smart water, and then she goes up to the counter to pay for gas and her water. And she looks at the security cameras and sees this dude is behind her. He's just sitting there staring. So she's acting very scared, and the cashier is like, are you okay? And there's some dude up there paying for his items, and he said, miss, are you okay? What's going on? So she explains what happened, that this dude pretty much had road rage and he's like following her and stuff. So this dude said that he'll come out there with her. So he ends up going out there with Rachel. He walks her to her car. She gets in her car, and the dude that walked out there with her got the psycho's license plate. He told Rachel the license plate number. We think everything's gonna be okay. She pulls off, and then the psycho tries to run the dude over that came outside. He manages to get out the way, but he's in such a panic to get out the way that somebody else hits him in the street. So he gets hit by a car, and it just caused a whole bunch of commotion. So Rachel is racing down the street, and this psycho's racing after her. And pretty much the whole movie, he's following her, he's terrorizing her. He stole her phone when she was in the gas station, and he put a burner phone inside of her car. So so he could get a hold of her whenever he wanted to. So he calls her with her phone, and then he calls that burner phone. She's like, "What do you want?" And then he pretty much says what he wants. He says he just wants to make her have a bad day because she should have never honked at him. And this dude is honestly just psycho. Who just comes after people like that just because you got honked at? And the sad thing about it is there's really people like this in real life. There's really people that are actually this psycho. So basically, he goes through her contacts in her phone and he tries to go through every person she cares about and try to kill him. She was supposed to meet one of her friends at a little restaurant or a diner for some coffee, but he ends up going there instead because this dude was texting and calling her phone like, "Where you at?" So he ends up showing up at the diner and he kills this dude in front of everybody. He didn't even care. He grabbed his head, slammed it on the table, and then took a butter knife and stuck it in his neck and killed him. And everybody was recording, so he was on the news right away. People seen how much of a psycho this dude was, and he didn't even care. He didn't even care that he got exposed. That's how psycho he was. So the cops were after him. They knew who he was. The psycho went to Rachel's house and he was trying to terrorize her brother and her brother's fiance. The psycho literally made Rachel's brother stab his own fiance. Her brother was holding a knife for protection, and the psycho grabbed his wife and shoved her into the knife and just kept stabbing over and over again. This dude is a straight sicko. Then he tied Rachel's brother up to a chair and he was putting gasoline on him. He made him write a letter to Rachel pretty much saying like, "You're the worst sister in the world and I hate you" and everything, which wasn't true, but he was making him say these things. Then a cop comes in because Rachel ended up calling the cops on the burner phone. So the cops come to the house. The minute the cops show up, he sets her brother on fire. So he's on fire and the cops shoot the psycho in the shoulder, and then he ends up running out the house and he gets away. Now there's so many more things that happen in this episode until we get to the end, but I'm just gonna talk about what happened at the end. The psycho ends up finding them in some nice neighborhood, in some house. The psycho's doing whatever he can to try to kill her son. He really wants to kill her son for some reason. So her son is hiding, but he ends up finding her son and he tries to choke him, but the son fights back, but then eventually he can't fight back anymore. So then Rachel takes some scissors and stabs the psycho in the eye, and he's still coming at her, and then she ends up kicking the scissors in his head. That's how he ends up dying, and it took a lot for him to die, man, because he was just coming at her and coming at her the entire movie. I'm not gonna make this review too long, but Rachel's brother ended up surviving. Apparently when he got caught on fire, it didn't kill him. The cop ended up putting the fire out. So I was happy about that her brother survived, and her and her son ended up getting away and the psycho died. But it was one crazy movie. This dude just kept coming at her, and he did all this all because she honked at him. And then at the end of the movie, somebody tries to cut her off at an intersection, and she was getting ready to honk at this person, and then she was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that." She decided not to, and then her son was like, "Yes, good choice." So now she's gonna think twice about honking at people, and honestly, now I'm not gonna wanna honk at nobody in traffic. Because this movie just goes to show that people are freaking psycho, and people actually are like this in real life. You know, I'm sure there's people in real life that would try to chase you over something like that. But this was a solid movie. Overall, you know, it was a great movie. I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It was very, very good. I definitely recommend it. I think you guys should go and check this movie out, whether you watch it at the movies or at the house. I don't think it's out yet, so you might have to wait till it comes to on demand or on the Fire Stick. But if you don't want to wait, go to the movies, because it's definitely a movie worth the watch in the movies, because it's a thriller. It will keep you on the edge of your seat. I was in the theater and I didn't know what to do. You know, my heart was racing because this was one of those kind of thrillers. So I suggest you go and check this out at the movies. It's definitely worth the watch in the theaters. So go and check it out. Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all movie reviews in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy FuturisticMike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.